Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. I'm here each and every day at this time, 8 a.m., quite early, so that you can join me and ask questions about what is this thing that we call life. And so today I'm actually putting in a link that I am going to be doing a workshop on on relationships next Sunday or next Saturday. So if you're interested in joining me at 10:30 a.m. Central Time for a workshop, 1-hour workshop, go to the link, sign up. This way you'll get the Zoom link for it. Today I wanted to talk about, people keep asking me, Lee, how do I become real? How do I become authentic? Well, here's what I mean. Yeah, Dion, I know you signed up. I saw your name out there. Thank you for doing that. Being authentic means you got to let down. You've got to let down all your complaining. You got to let down all your gossiping. You got to let down all of your attachments. And you've got to let down your people pleasing. Think about that. People pleasing, attachments, complaining, and gossiping. If you really sit down and did an analysis of everything that you do, it probably falls into one of those 4 categories, which means that your true authentic self, we don't know where it is. You've lost yourself. You've lost yourself. Richard, where have you been hiding, dude? Good to see you out there. Good morning, Sarah, Annette, and Rodney as well. Anyone else out there, please check in. Love to know who's out there talking right now or listening right now. You can talk too by just writing in your comments, and I'll get with them with you. It's really a time to be aware of what are we doing with our mind? What are we doing with our voice? How are our actions? Good morning, Jess. How are our actions aligned with that? Have we forgotten who we really are? I think so. And it's all this fear, it's all this division that's going on in the world today. And the one thing that we got, the one thing that we offer the world is our uniqueness, and we've sacrificed that to people please. We've sacrificed that to our attachments. We've sacrificed that by gossiping about others. We've sacrificed that about a life of complaining. We've forgotten that everything we need is already within us. Yeah, we've forgotten that. Don't beat yourself up because everybody's forgotten it. Because whatever's going on in society right now, whatever's going on, it's powerful. It's powerful. It numbs you up. Just like Pink Floyd saying, comfortably numb. That's what we've become. Comfortably numb, not being ourselves. Think about that. Comfortably numb, not being ourselves. Why would you give up being yourself unless you were brainwashed into believing that being you is not enough? God, I want to tell you, it's more than enough. There's nothing more you got to do than be you. I love that. Nothing more you got to do than be you. That was a little bit of a rhyme I threw at you. Richard's just been doing his natural thing. Good for you. Be you. You owe nothing. We owe nothing to anyone else. Everything we owe is to ourselves. And you say, well, how can that be? Well, here's the reason why. Because if I give you my word, I'm not doing it because I gave you my word and I'm worried about you. I gave you my word, and my word means everything to me. So I'm never doing it for someone else. I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it to be the authentic me. I'm doing it to be the real me. You see, giving your word is like, it's sacred. If you break your word, what else have you got? Think about that. If you break your word, what else have you got? What have you got to offer if your word is not truthful? If your word doesn't mean, if people can't count on your word, it means you can't count on your word. And if you can't count on your word, you're lost in the abyss. You're lost in the abyss, and you'll be lost deeper and deeper. The more you dishonor your word, man, it's going to be, you're going down a rabbit hole that it's going to take an awful lot to climb out of. Be true to yourself. Honor your word. Don't gossip. No need to gossip. Don't complain. Do you get this? That life is a mirror? And when we complain, we attract more of what we're complaining about. Oh, Lee, that's not true. Yes, it is. There are people in these very difficult times that we're going through right now that are thriving. Absolutely thriving. Why? Because it's where they're putting their focus. So the question I ask is, where are you putting your focus? Is it on being the greatest you that you can imagine? Or is it on being small, about people pleasing, about being attached to nonsense? And Jessica, I'm just gonna bring out a thought. Focus on the positive is what Jess said. Jess, what's positive? See, positive is it's a personal thing. What's positive for you is not positive for someone else. I've been really contemplating that. And what I tell people now, don't focus on the positive. Focus on what you want. Focus on directed thinking. Do you hear the difference between positive thinking and directed thinking? Directed thinking means you are really conscious as to where you are putting your thought. Because in the universe, in the real universe, in the allness of the universe, there is no positive or negative. Because to say that there's a positive or negative, there must be something supreme beyond us that has determined what's positive and negative. And there just isn't. You see, that comes from the old adage that we believe that God is a Santa Claus and is judging us. No God judging us. This infinite intelligence that is everywhere expressing gave itself as unique expressions of itself, us, complete freedom. Now there's a law of cause and effect, and what you put out comes back, but that's not judgment. It's just mirroring back to you who you are. Real difference there. It's subtle, but it's powerful. It's really, really powerful. So again, if you didn't see at the very beginning, I put a link out there. I'm doing a workshop next Saturday, 10:30 Central Time. Workshop is free. Not often I do free ones, but the workshop's free, and it's how to create a meaningful relationship. Not a happy relationship, because that's a fallacy. You're never going to be happy all the time in a relationship, but you can have a relationship that's meaningful for both parties. That's what we want to explore next Saturday. So if you're interested, click that link, register, because that's the only way you're going to get the Zoom, magic Zoom key to that. So I don't see anything else that you people want to talk about today. There's no comments there for me to go on with. I've given you some pretty deep stuff to consider. Remember, stop complaining, stop gossiping, stop being attached. Man, if we just do some simple things like that, our world would change so quickly. Stop being people pleasers. Stop caring what other people think if it stops you from being you. Yah's will is the will that will prevail, not our own. It is not judgment to state that the higher powers are judging you by showing you yourself. Well, Uriah, That's a view that seems to be working for you. It's not my view. I don't believe that there are higher powers. That's like saying there's higher individuals. I don't believe that. I believe that everything I need is right within me, and that my beliefs actually create, and that the highest, the infinite, full, total consciousness actually doesn't care, because it gave itself as each of us the power to create our lives, and we can choose to use it any way we choose, and it doesn't care. Here's the key thing. We've built all this stuff about a higher power in that because we have a fear of death. Once we get over the fact that we never really die, that fear and that need for a higher power disappears completely. Disagrees completely. Leah Belding, my God, what a beautiful thing to see you out there. Just seeing your name, Leah, brings a smile to my face. Should you have to wait for someone or have an instant connection at first sight? I think, Orlando, that depends. I'm going to tell you that when I met my wife, Jean, I sort of knew there was a vibrational connection. And sometimes vibrational connections can take time. And vibrational connections will evolve over time. So the connection I had 50 years ago when I met Jean, almost 50 years in September, it will be 50 years that I will have met her. Our vibration has shifted and changed, but we're still so much alike. Is not love a higher power? Well, let's ask the question, what is love? That's a real good question. So I'm going to tell you, Uriah, or anyone else out there, go to my YouTube channel, Rev Lee Wolak, W-L-A-K, my YouTube channel. And you'll notice on the channel, there is a video. And that video is the best I've ever done. And it's called, What is Agape? Debunking the Myth of Love. Watch that video. And if you have questions, bring them to the next 8 a.m. Thoughts that can change your life. And I'd love to answer them. But if you watch that video, you're going to get a lot to think about, because I think we've been given a bunch of hocus pocus on what love is. And in this video, you'll get a different perspective. It's my life work in that video. I've been asking the question about what is love all my life. And this is the best I've got from all the teachers that I've studied with all over the world. So with that, I'm going to say to you, here you go, Uriah. I love you, which means I accept you just as you are, with no conditions attached. And like everyone else out there, I accept you and love you just like you are. So go create your great day. Until the next time, aloha.